Hey Tyrants, welcome to the crew. I'm Scarlet Chorus, and this is my Let's Play of Tyranny. We've just left the disfavored camp, got ambushed on the way, talked to some rebels, and we're now arriving at the Scarlet Chorus camp. Alright, let's go. Anyway, the goal is to be a practical sort of villain, so I'll gather information. Much as I can. I don't think anything I told her is actually that important. Well, okay, the thing about the edict is very important, but I'm hoping that if it spreads around that they're dead unless we take the Citadel, that at least some of them will just let us take the Citadel in order to survive. A rotting body bearing Scarlet Chorus war paint is skewered upon a wooden pike. Quiet Shiv and Shivershank. They let them name themselves, and they name each other the stupidest things possible. It's ridiculous. We have bigger problems here. What's going on here? It proves everything. The warrior slams her fists together in a resounding clap. Like, for instance, whether you're fit to lead that flock of children. Behind her, the members of her gang posture with weapons held at the ready. Did you not hear the news of the edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fight for the enemy. The Chorus warrior looks to his gang, giving them a quick nod. What's the problem here? No problem here, Lord Binder. She tosses her blade in the air, catching it with a smile on the way down. Captain Fuckwit here seems he's about to balk from this challenge. Thinks just because he used to run a ship, he's qualified to run a gang. She spits on the ground, looking up with a scowl. So I'm calling him out, because the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new blood. Captain Fuckwit was my father. Fuckwit will do just fine. The warrior points at the opposing gang. We have to prove our strength, we'll do so happily. But all of your hands and feet removed, and the rest of you kept for my own use. This is foolish and they should stop, but I feel like it's definitely the Scarlet Chorus custom. So I don't think it's a good idea to disrupt it. I'll let you all fight this out. The soldier offers a quick, solemn nod. Come, who will you be the first to meet my blade? The gang leader tosses her knife from one hand to the next. Oh, well. She did not win. Jesus Christ, only one person survived that fight. Yeah, that was practical. Okay. Congratulations, random horde member. You win, I guess. You're in charge of yourself now.
Sorry, I can't.
East Blood Pollen. Removes a random hostile effect. That's
Can't
handy.
do that.
Especially if I only have one hostile effect. Alright. Nothing much up there. Yeah, if that happens a lot, they should stop doing that. But I feel like that's probably on their Archon to do, and not really something I should get involved in. Although, I might need to, because they're idiots, but...
Sorry, I can't.
So they took over an existing rune for themselves, huh? What's up, guys? The guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point is Chorus territory, and you don't look like someone's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? I'm Sea Lord Janda, Fatebinder of Tunon. I'm here to help vanquish the Oathbreakers. You know, I think I was told to expect somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Her lips crumple into a smirk. Why exactly should I let you in? Oh, we cannot tolerate this kind of disrespect. And more importantly, what's this hulking ton of iron doing here? The guard gestures at Barrack with a sneer. He's a warrior and my guard. You do not want to make an issue with this. Fine, just come on in. I'm sure the Fury will gut you if you're really a problem. The guard half-heartedly waves you in as she nods to Verse. Yeah. What's this? Ooh, a scroll. I can read it. Oh hey, I've learned the Sigil of Illusion. Nice. This spell-making system could be really cool, I have to say. Alright, this is pretty much the camp. It's a nice circle, basically. Looks like there's quite a lot of named people I might be able to talk to here. I guess we'll start with Fifth Eye. The binder of Tunon arrives. Squealing with teenager's timbre, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we have just finished having a bit of sport with some captives. But worry not, we'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-spattered glove. Crimson Spears are the personal gang of the Voices of Narat. These top enforcers of the chorus answer only to the Archon of Secrets, and all gang members must follow their orders as if they were the words of the Archon of Secrets himself. In contrast to the poorly equipped mobs they command, the Crimson Spears are armed with fine bronze and rigorous training. Their skills are regularly tested by rivals for their status. The Scarlet Chorus, even the top gang leaders, must be ready to prove their strength if they wish to lead. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. Not here to follow your every order, but we do need to work together to stop the edict. But of course, you are Tunon's concubine, not mine. I envy your long leash and hope you will grace us with your prowess, if only to set an example for the rabble. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we have learned this is not their only nest. The Fifth Eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the Outer Valley. And unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. You have how large a force, and for all these weeks you've let the enemy move freely through the valley? I'm hurt. Insult my manners or maturity, but do not insinuate that I sit idle when there's blood to be shed. Crimson Spear claps his fists together. We have dealt with countless Oathbreakers, but one group remains at large despite our best efforts. Captain Pelox's crew consistently evades or kills our own gangs. So you need help taking them out? And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smarter answer is not to kill them, but to add their strength to ours. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendrian Guard's secondary camp. Though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Varia Kell. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try and take their captain and show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. I thought the Voices of Narat could interrogate anything. An unintelligible mutter escapes from under the Fifth Eye's mask as his posture stiffens. I do not tell the Voices of Narat what to do, nor do I question his motives. The Archon is busy plotting the efficient destruction of these Oathbreakers and is not to be disturbed. The Voice of Narat is equal parts genius and madman. Rumors abound that he can steal the minds of others, though few, if any, are alive to confirm as much. The subjects of his interrogation are never heard from again, and the Archon is able to recall the memories of his victims with startling accuracy. He is the inconsistent leader of the Scarlet Chorus, vacillating between commanding from the vanguard and directing his armies in absentia. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts that the Voices of Narat is an accomplished strategist, even suggesting that his madness stems from thinking hundreds, perhaps thousands of steps ahead of his enemies. Could be. I've known the Archon to demand personal interrogations, but it's only ever been with leaders, mages, or others of great merit. I've often imagined the interrogation process is not to be taken lightly. Perhaps it's downright exhausting for Narat. Alright, I'll speak with the prisoner. I will meet you there. She's waiting by the other prisoners. Okay, who else is around? Gloves, hammer, just a couple of Scarlet Furies. These stray bear tents show signs of hard use and long-term exposure to the elements. Snigler Dagos. Upon noticing your approach, the merchant straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor! The name's Snigler Dagos. Originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire, I've since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kairos' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. Let me see your wares. He winces a little. It's not much, but let me know if you see anything that piques your interest. Okay, well, he's got a couple of sigils, which could be nice. He's got camping supplies, he's got poison, he's got daggers and staffs and things. Honestly, it's not actually much worse than what the disfavored guy had, if at all.
Moving cautiously.
Oopsies. No stealth. Reg and Baz. So is this my tent here? Well, look who we have here. Chewing on some manner of cud, a heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The fate binder finally shows himself. I'm Reg, the second soldier chimes in, and this is Baz. We were wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The fifth eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Reg clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz. Something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who'll give you answers, or even a smile. So what can we do for you? What can you tell me about the fifth eye? Reg trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the voices of Narat. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little wild, bloodthirsty, mad. Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. Reg flinches and glances over his shoulder. I was going to say eccentric. The chorus isn't picky about who joins the ranks, so you can expect to find some unusual types. Most are as likely to kill you as promote you. Alright, what do you know about Vendrian's Well? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian Guard do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. She shrugs. We took the Citadel once before. We can take it again. We have to, don't we? Reg looks up at the imposing tower of the spire. Though Kairos knows I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fate Binder. It's not cowardice, it's just superstition. Afraid of the spire? Sorry, Fate Binder, I shouldn't have mentioned anything. He sighs. The fact of the matter is, we were told to stay away from spires and old walls ever since we were babes. Of all the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine a soldier of the chorus pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it, Reg frowns. The Bane lurks around those old sites and kill anything they can catch unawares. I've no wish to meet the Bane in combat unless there are 100 blood chanters at my back. She twists her lip into a frown as she considers this. Me neither, I suppose. The hell is the Bane? Tell me about your time in the Scarlet Chorus. Reg and I were conscripted at the Gates of Judgment. He used to fight Barakah and me for Azure. Baz chuckles, sketching her chin in thought. How many fights have we survived so far? 11? Reg begins to count in series across his fingers. No, 14. I count each day in sunder separately. The chorus is... Baz looks about the camp and shrugs. Not as bad as it smells. The strong, like me and Reg, we're allowed to take what we want, what we deserve. We live only as well as our strength affords us, as it should be. Tell me about yourself, Baz. I was a sellsword at the beck and call of fat merchants, just another dented face in the crowd. After too many years of spilling blood and local skirmishes, I realized that I was only killing time. And Kairos showed me a better way. Unity. Purpose. Now I fight for something, not just someone. Been watching the Scarlet Furies, practicing my blade work. Not good enough to join them yet, but I bet I could show you a thing or two. Tell me about yourself, Reg. He scratches the back of his head as a loss for words. I had a family, a farm. Then the chorus came, and, well, now I have the chorus. Priorities change when you hear screams in the night and feel the blade pressed to your neck. Things like farms or families don't seem as important. I used to have nightmares thinking about the culling. The Scarlet Chorus conscripts a village. They hold a ceremony known as the culling. Every able-bodied man, woman, and child is given a weapon and forced to fight their family and friends to the death. Those who survive are deemed strong enough and free from old ties to join the army of the Voices of Narat. That's pretty effective, actually, potentially. Felt awful remembering how I hacked my mom and dad to bits just so I could survive. Oh yeah, you're a great dude, Reg. Reg's eyes, shadowed for a moment with sorrow, take on a feverish gleam. The fifth eye heard me howling one night, pulled me out of the horde, and took an interest in me. Now I'm studying magic, calling fire from nothing. If my mom and dad could see me now, they'd be so proud. Well, they can't because you hacked them to pieces, Reg, but sure. So you can train. Okay, Baz knows bows, dual wield, and unarmed combat, which seems like those are the skills that we need versed at, probably. But not super useful for me, I think. Reg might be a mage trainer. You feel strange? Yeah, Reg rubs his shoulder nervously. Ever since the Fate Binder spoke Kairos' edict, I felt like bugs were crawling under my skin. You notice your mixed expressions. Oh, didn't see you there, Fate Binder. Reg, what's the fifth I've been teaching you? We'll make this valley burn. Okay, he can teach me magic staff and lore. Okay, I'm spending like all my money on this. That's not great, but those are my critical abilities, so might as well. I don't know if that's like, I think I'm just literally on character sheet. I think that's just literally increasing my abilities here or something, so I mean, that seems handy. That seems like the thing to do. The stench of piss and fecal matter emanate from this tent, one clearly not used for rest. These spears are brittle and rusted. Shattered glass vial. Be fair, I can sell this stuff at least. Hold on, wasn't there another thing back here somewhere? Yeah. Can we reach that? Oh, it's possible to... Oh! Go all the way around through here.
Sorry, I can't.
Won't happen.
Yeah, okay, nobody knows how to pick that lock. We'll work on it. Water. Alright, there's the prisoners, okay. Talk to them.
See that?
+2 subterfuge for everyone for spotting, what? What did we just spot? This was just that. Oh no, it was this bedroll, I guess. Okay, sandals, healing potion, blood moss. Most of these provisions are withered with rot. Battle plans are scribbled over a bloodstained map of the tiers. Arrows point toward the inner ring of the Ventrian's Well Valley. Small circles are drawn around the citadel. This barrel is full of murky red water. Severed limbs bob under the greasy soup skin. Oh god, why? What's up, Salvaros? Oh, you're the disfavored representative. Hail, Fatebinder of Tunon. Disfavored officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or a superstitious man, I'd say fortune must favor me today. I'm not. But I'm pleased to meet you all the same. Now what brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands wide. This here mud and shit-stinking chorus camp. How'd you get stationed here? From the way most of my days go, you'd think I was here to row with blood chanters and Scarlet Furies, but my post is to represent the disfavored interests before Fitdai and the Scarlet Chorus for our Iron Marshal Aranios. Not that I've gotten to do either in so much the last span. Have they been cooperative? No one tells me anything. They lack all honor and discipline. Don't think they could cooperate even if it's what they actually wanted. He grunts. Guess I shouldn't be surprised considering they serve the Archon of Secrets. Fair. I'm glad we see eye to eye, sir. It's nice speaking with someone who doesn't try to frustrate the piss out of you every 4 words. It's like they don't even care. I'm the closest thing to a friend in the disfavored they've got. Anything you'd like to report? Notice anything unusual? Cants his head to one side, taken aback. What about the chorus isn't unusual? The army itself is a strange, malnourished beast. But no, the screamers seem mostly in order, sir. And I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying, sir. Still as a post, he studies you sharply, scarcely appearing to breathe. Of course, even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this shit's thigh. Fitdai and those damned Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail. And it's not for lack of trying on my part. What do you mean? I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem and request a stock of troops from Iron Marshal Aranios for reinforcements if needed. They won't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I could request. Well, our lives are at risk, and even then you can't get along, huh? Begging your pardon, sir, but I've never fought a battle where my life wasn't on the line. He shrugs. Kind of the nature of war, isn't it? You act like it's a punishment, isn't it? I know I fucked up to get here. Got 3 days in the hole and a nice little promotion to go with my new post. Well, I won't be making the same mistake twice when it comes to the Iron Marshal. He juts his chin toward the distant valley. I should be out there fighting for Ash's glory, not standing here ready to run back a report should something ever finally fucking happen. What do you think of the Scarlet Chorus? Oh, they're rabid dogs, the lot of them. Ever seen a screamer racing headlong into battle like a hound chasing a winter hare? I have, and I can tell you more often than not it's the screamer who ends up skinned and gutted. Leave the campaign to the chaos that's the chorus and we're doomed. Alright. Hold on. Was there anything in the... They talk about Spire like that's significant. Hold on. There's a lot of lore here. I don't know that we can read or should read all of it, but hold on. Let me read some of this. Archon is the title given to people who wield immense power. Yeah, I gathered that. It is also a title in Kairos' hierarchy, the rank immediately and distantly below the Overlord. In modern times, every living Archon either swears fealty to Kairos or lives the nasty, brutish, and short life of a hunted animal. While all Archons possess magical powers, there is no other common thread between these women and men. An Archon might be made of fire, capable of conjuring storms, or able to heal with a touch. The only defining trait of an Archon is that this magic power originates from within. It's unclear how Archons come into their powers, but it's generally understood that most grow into or develop magical power throughout their lives, with only a few noticeable exceptions, such as Siren, Archon of Song, having shown power seemingly from birth. Mages view Archons as the pioneers of magic, as any and all spells that mere mages, that is, non-Archons, can cast all work by tapping into the power of an Archon that's come before, an act often referred to as signing a spell or invoking a sigil. For example, the Earthshaker Guild developed their earth-controlling spells from Cairn, Archon of Stone, while many of the Blood Chanter spells of Frenzy and Fear are adapted from the power of Siren, Archon of Song. As there have been many Archons to wield similar powers, at least a half-dozen Archons of Fire are known throughout history, it's possible that two mages might invoke different Archons to accomplish similar effects. Okay. Azure, its vast fertile plains made Azure the largest of the Younger Realms. While nominally ruled by a queen, the nation was in fact ruled by the many barons who owned the farmlands, as well as the people and beasts who worked the fields. Azure fell to Kairos' armies in the year 431 after the Archon Cairn rebelled against the Overlord. Kairos issued an edict that shattered the land, destroying the rich farmlands with devastating earthquakes. That's one of the places I didn't choose to go, so it's good to know what happened there. Azurelith, after Kairos' Edict of Stone shattered the fertile plains of Azure, these purple-hued crystals began appearing among the rocky outcroppings of the Stone Sea. While connected to the rocks of the region, Azurelith glows with a faint light. The Earthshaker mages are studying this phenomenon, hoping to use whatever power lies within the crystals to enhance their magic. The Stone Stalkers tribe of beast women call these crystals the Elder Teeth, believing they were doing manifestations of their ancestors. Mystics of the tribe wear shades of Azurelith and crush some crystals into powder used to make an incandescent body paint to strengthen their magical attacks. Okay. Bane. Oh, this was one of the things I was curious about. Very little is known about the Bane. They are savage, vicious creatures that attack humans and beasts on sight. Okay, beasts is also capitalized. What does that mean other than animals? While normal humans can sometimes escape a Bane attack, they will pursue a mage or a beast to the edges of Taratus. Sages who have studied the Bane believe that they are creatures of magic. Whether they occur naturally or are created, no one knows. Some sages speculate that the various forms of Bane are different stages of a life cycle, with the Bane becoming more complex and powerful as it ages. No one knows why Bane are attracted to the old walls, but everyone knows that traveling near those towering structures guarantees a Bane attack. Okay, Leaden Mark. Archon of Shadows, works for Tunal. Blood Chanters, the magical core of the Scarlet Chorus. Fire magic, plus spears of fear and frenzy. Spells of fear and frenzy. Bloodhounds, apprentice mages who channel magic directly to bleed, deadly to themselves and their enemies. Bulwark, second in command of a beast tribe. Okay. Held by the most savage of beast women, enforce order and obedience, carry out the Primus commands. Alright. Bronze Brotherhood, mercenary company from the Free Cities. Bronze weapons. Okay, I know the concept of bronze weapons, I think. Lighter than iron, don't shatter, but expensive. Cairn, as tall as the hills, Archon of Stone, leader of the Earthshaker Guild. I mean, he betrayed us recently, so not a thing anymore. Caitiff, a beast who has left or been outcast from their tribe. Calendar, oh, this is probably important too. 14 spans, each span 26 days long, divided into 5 weeks called fists of 5 days each. The last day of the span being Kairos' day, a day of rest. The days of each fist named after rules that Kairos considers important. Warrior's Day, Healer's Day, Judge's Day, Farmer's Day, and Smith's Day. The years of the calendar are counted from the days of the Overlord's first edict, known as the True Reckoning. Days are commonly referred to using the name of the day and the day of the span, aka Judge's Day, 18 Span of Blood. Okay. Less formal usage is to refer to the date by the order of its day in the span, for example, Second Judges of Frostfall. More formal usage will specify the date with the fist and year, for example, Smith's Day in the second fist of the Span of Storms, 428 TR. Okay. 14 spans are Span of Forge Fire, Tempering, Storms, Swords, Blood, Conquest, Rapics, Siege, Flames, Reaping, Ruin, Feasting, Shadow, and Frostfall. And it's currently the Span of Swords. 18 thereof. 26 is the Day of Swords. Judge's Day today. Okay. Chrysalids. Small parasitic insects with broad, brightly colored wings. They swarm in search of food. Use sharply hooked hollow legs to affix themselves to prey and feed. If left undisturbed, a female chrysalis excretes a quickly hardening, viscous substance from her abdomen, cocooning herself to her host before injecting her eggs into her victim's flesh. Well, that sounds bad. Generally harmless to animals, but cause significant damage to homes and ships alike. Stories warn of chrysalis swarms in times of famine. They prefer plants, but anecdotes claim they will prey on animals when necessity requires. Crescent runners, mobile strike force of the disfavored. Their job is to circle the phalanx and harry the enemy with javelin attacks, so they're skirmishers, okay. Crimson spears, personal gain. Okay, we just read this. Disfavored, okay. Earthshaker, magical arm of the disfavored. They worked for Cairn. When Cairn rebelled, the Earthshakers remained with the disfavored, although detractors say they only stayed because they couldn't find Cairn. And they were protected by Graven Ash now. Edict. Kairos' most powerful magic is that of the Edict, commandments cast upon whole regions that can control and destroy man and nature alike. Once cast, an edict can rain fire, wither crops, demoralize cities, usher in endless night, or do whatever it is that Kairos envisioned. No known force, magical or mundane, can stop an edict, though each edict is often worded to include some condition or contingency that will see its end. Some edicts have been short-lived, delivering days of wanted catastrophe, just as many have lingered for centuries. Currently we have an Edict of Execution in Vendrian's Well. We've previously seen an Edict of Fire, which we cast, or proclaimed. Therefore let the fires of Taratus rise up and consume them, for as long as forbidden knowledge lies within the heart of the Vellum Citadel. Edict of Stone. Let the foundations of Azure be shattered and life drained from the land while the traitor Cairn draws breath. An Edict of Storms over Stalwart. Let those who call themselves Unbroken be broken and the storms of our rage. Let our storm rage until the last blade be broken or the line of Regent falls. The Unbroken Legion was the proud and accomplished army of the realm of Stalwart. They prided themselves on never facing defeat while fighting on home soil. The Edict of Storms tore apart Stalwart and twisted into the Blade Grove. Barely a 20th of the Unbroken's former strength survived to continue the war. Okay, I'm a Fatebiter. Flightless, a breed of ornery, dun-colored birds common throughout the tiers, a staple of hunters' diets. Aggressive and gamey, not popular among farmers. Forgebound, mage smiths, soul masters of iron working in the known world. They use spells of fire resistance to wade into the forge fires and work at temperatures no other forge can match, with a hands-on touch. Considered a strategic war asset. Raven Ash, last Northern General to stand against the Overlord in ages past. Supreme Commander of the Disfavored, yeah. Havoc. Legends tell of an incredibly powerful form of Bane known only as the Havoc. There are no recorded sightings of a Havoc in recent centuries, so little is known of their abilities. Legends and campfire stories say that if a Havoc is seen, kill any other Bane present to deny the Havoc's strength. No one knows why this advice has survived for centuries. That sounds like something that's going to be relevant to us in the end game, I'm going to guess. Horde, the unwashed, undisciplined, unskilled masses of the Scarlet Chorus. The only advantage these possess is their overwhelming numbers. Culling, yeah, okay. Interloper, the smaller of Taratus' two moons. Interloper is a small, dense moon named for its speedy path across the sky. Orbiting the planet roughly 3 times per day, Interloper is of chief concern to those who travel the high seas, so that's pretty fast. While Taratus Grave is the larger of the two moons, its gravitation is constant, whereas Interloper causes tidal shifts as it moves about its orbit. Iron Guard, disfavored high command. Iron Walker, the most deadly fighters, the disfavored giant men and women clad from head to toe in thick iron. Iron Walker spends much of the time in the center of the phalanx, ready to reinforce the Stone Shield Brethren if any enemies penetrate the shield wall. When the phalanx nears a valiant enemy target, the Walker will order the shield wall apart, and they will emerge for protection to cut their way through the enemy and eliminate the threat. Iron, sole purview of the forge-bound magesmiths. So, yes, the secret of iron has enabled the Overlord to supply vast armies with iron weapons and armor. Where even the wealthiest nations could only field bronze-clad armies of a few hundred, Kairos' forces number in the tens of thousands. So we're the only ones with Iron Age knowledge. That is handy, yeah. Kairos, the most powerful mystic the world has ever seen, has consolidated power for centuries and sent vast armies to swallow whole realms. The Archons bow to Kairos, and he destroys any unwilling to kneel. They lead his armies in near endless conquest, and the captured territories divided up amongst the Archons. He's able to deliver suffering, or well, they are able to deliver suffering and woe to every corner of Taratus without leaving the capital, and few have seen the Overlord in person. Though it's the single most recognized name in the world, only the Archons can say what the Overlord looks like. Okay. We got an idea of what sigils are. Malice. Malice are rarely seen, at least not by those who live to tell of the encounter. Malice's touch can drain and corrupt the living, taking their strength to empower the Bane. Missives. Carrier birds, okay. The Northern Empire was the last great nation to fall before the armies of Kairos the Overlord, led by Blood Echo, then Archon of War. The Overlord's armies expect the North to fall within a year. They did not count on the tactical brilliance of General Graven Ash. Outnumbered and cut off from supplies, the great general led his troops in a holding action that stymied all Blood Echo's plans. It was during this desperate defense that Graven Ash began to manifest the abilities that would allow him to challenge Blood Echo for the mantle of Archon of War. After defeating Blood Echo, Graven Ash was defeated by several of Kairos' Archons and brought before the Overlord in chains. No one knows what Kairos said to the general that day, but Ash emerged a loyal servant to the Overlord. With his surrender, the Northern Legions bent knee to the Overlord as well, and the last great empire of Taratus fell to Kairos' rule. The remnants of Graven Ash's soldiers, those who survived the final battle with Blood Echo, became the core of his disfavored legion. Okay. There wasn't anything that said exactly why they're disfavored, other than it has to do with that. Oathbound are a select group within the elite disfavored, men and women whose lives are bound together by magic. Sent ahead of the main legion to scout and assassinate. Each member is life-linked to every other. When one dies, the remaining members absorb their fallen comrade's strength, making the last the hardest to kill. Old Walls. Constructed by the same civilization that built the spires, the Old Walls are massive stone walls that stretch across all of Taratus. Built from weathered stone, the Old Walls tower above the land, visible for miles in every direction. Only the spires reach taller than the Old Walls. By Kairos' law, the Old Walls are forbidden. Where there are Old Walls, there are Bane. No one knows why the magical creatures are attracted to the Old Walls, but every traveler who strays too near the walls is attacked. Very few who have attempted to enter the Old Walls ever return alive. Great, we're gonna have to enter that later, probably. Prima, leader of a beast tribe. Supremacy almost always held by a female, won and defended through vicious bloodshed and fights for dominance rather than birthright. Many alphas can exist, but only one can arise as the Prima. Apex, once one of the 4 younger realms, landlocked and mountainous, geographical center of the tiers, rich tradition of warfare. First of the younger realms to face Kairos' forces, despite requests for help, faced the invaders alone. They surrendered in 429 after months of constant defeat. Regents of Stalwart, traditional ruling body of the realm. Their leader was the first regent and led the Unbroken into battle. He refused to surrender even when presented terms that would preserve the lives of their people, and were hunted down and slaughtered except the last regent, Stratus Harridan, who was trapped within Sentinel Stand kept by the Edict. Rings, okay, Rite of Blood. Among the Stonestalker tribe of beast women, the Rite of Blood is the ceremonial challenge whereby one beast challenges the Prima for dominance. The challenger must defeat the Prima or be cast out entirely. Depending on the viciousness of the challenger, a losing Prima may be killed outright or exiled in disgrace. Rite of Savagery in Stone. Coming of age ritual practiced by the Stonestalkers. To earn its second name and place in the tribe, a brood cub must engage in a series of challenge fights, generally non-lethal, though accidents may happen. Sages. One of the longest surviving schools of magic in the tiers, the School of Ink and Quill is a venerable institution devoted to the acquisition and preservation of knowledge, or so the sages profess. Putting more of their energy toward amassing knowledge than disseminating it. Okay. They began their scriptorium in 17 TR, and through a series of incremental expansions, the structure began the Vellum Citadel, only to be known as the Burning Library after Kairos' Edict of Fire brought ruination in 430 TR. Not all sages know magic, but those that have mastered the guild's traditional spells can employ magic of protection and preservation. It's a poorly kept secret that the sages have gradually acquired a wide array of magic practiced by rival mage guilds over the generations. Kind of obliterated them, though, huh? Scarlet Fury, the highly skilled special forces of the Scarlet Chorus, trained to ignore pain, encrypting wounds to achieve their goals. They use a spinning acrobatic attack style incorporating dual-wielded blades to confuse and disorient their foes. Okay, we just read this, basically. A School of Tides. For centuries, one of the most powerful groups of mages in the Tides. They have spells that directly affect water, as well as spells that direct the push and pull of Taratus' moons, or that gather the rays of the moon Taratus' grave into searing light. Despite their arsenal magics, the school was long devoted to protecting sea traffic and fostering the arts, which made them a bit more tolerated than other mage schools in the tiers, notably in Haven, where the school had its once great academy. Shortly before Kairos' troops came south, the school's founder, occulted Jade, Archon of Tides, vanished across the ocean, fleeing Kairos' advance and taking most of her disciples with her across the sea, never to be heard from again. School of Wild Wrath. Though it bore the name of school for hundreds of years, the School of Wild Wrath more resembled a mercenary outfit, with its elders even more than eager to aim the school's destructive impulses at any foe for the right price. Having studied the many archons of fire over the ages, most notably Thousand Embers and the Sun Queen, the school's mages were concerned with little beyond conflict and battle, pursuits that made the school largely hated and reviled. The School of Wild Wrath met its end at the hands of Kairos' armies in the first year of the war. Its elders now swear fealty to the voices of Narat as the Blood Chanters Guild, and those not granted amnesty by Narat were rounded up and executed by the disfavored. Scourge. The most common and aggressive form of Bane is the Scourge. These vicious creatures travel in swarms, surrounding their prey with whirlwinds of tearing claws. Entire villages have been wiped out by a single pack of Scourge. Siren. Archon of Song. Youngest Archon sent to conquer the tiers. Young and inexperienced, sworn to the voices of Narat, who uses her powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus volunteers. Spire. These seem significant. Every man, woman, and child on Taratus can point to the nearest spire as it towers above the horizon. From the images and symbols engraved on the surface of each spire, it's clear that these structures were created by man. No one now alive knows who created them or what feats of magic allowed them to rise so high into the air. Spires are often found near or connected to the old walls, as such many cultures view them as signs of ill fortune. Given their immense height, the spires make excellent navigational aids for land and sea travel. Merchants will often trade directions that use spires as guides rather than relying on maps or trails. Mages believe that their powers intensify when near a spire. Okay, the spires on old walls are somehow critical to, like, the whole Archon magic system or something. Like, there's a bunch of old secrets in here, you can tell immediately. Stalwart was one of the last to fall to Kairos' armies. They were defeated on their home soil until they faced the might of the disfavored. Kairos issued an edict that racked the land with eternal storms, transforming the mighty nation into a rust-choked ruin known as the Blade Grave. Stone shields, large group within the disfavored. Each soldier carries a large iron shield into battle, overlapped to form an impenetrable iron wall. They say that enemies break on the shield wall like waves on stone, giving these soldiers their name. Stone Stalkers, the largest spinning beast tribe in the tiers, nearly tripled in population during a period of domestication and forced labor in service to the farmers and ranchers of the realms, but like all beasts, they were born wild and yearned to range free, unfettered by humans within their own homeland. In ancient times, the tribe was known as the Meadowkins, but they were denied a name during their centuries of enslavement. In the turmoil created by Kairos' invasion of the tiers and conquest of Azure, the beasts rebelled and won their freedom. Drawn to the enigmatic presence of Cairn, Archon of Stone, they took the name Stonestalker as their own. After Cairn's defeat, when Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Stone on Azure, creating the Stone Sea, Stonestalkers retreated into the wilds. The humans who have since encroached on their territory have been slaughtered. Let's see. Taratis, the known world. Wintersea in the east to the Tears in the west. Taratis' grave is the larger of Taratis' two moons and is tide-locked in orbit above Kairos' empire. Its name comes from denizens of eastern Taratis who see the moon as eternally looming on the western horizon. It's the grave behind which the sun descends each day. Taratis' grave is of significant importance to the School of Tides, whose mages can harness this light into searing energy or tap into the moon's pull on the ocean currents. We've read about him. We know about Tunal. The Unbroken, okay, military of Stalwart, Willem Citadel, the Sheriff Vendrian Guard. Yes, this was the Apex's army before, but they exist again now, clearly. Wisps are the weakest form of Bane. They're form more diffuse than other types. Wisps are slow-moving, making them the easiest of the Bane to outrun. While a single Wisp can be defeated easily by a trained soldier, they're rarely found alone. Where a Wisp is found, the Scourge and Malice are not far behind. Gotcha. And then the Younger. Okay. That's the Codex. That gives me some context on what spires and stuff are. Alright. Now, thanks for watching, sailors. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or subscribing. New parts will be up every other day on YouTube, or you can watch live on Twitch. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.